In the last video, we tackled the first of two confusing vocal terms, support. If you missed it, I'll have links to that video here. Now we get into the second one, placement. Place it here, or is it here? Or here? Let's get vocal. To support the Get Vocal Awareness campaign, like and share these videos. Hit subscribe to stay up to date and comment to add your voice to the discussion. Now that you have a better understanding of support and what it really is, we tackle the second of the most overused and confusing vocal terms, placement. Placement is one of those words that, to be honest, often comes out of the mouth of coaches who don't know specifically what they want to do. So they'll say things like place it higher or move your placement forward. And then, if you're lucky enough to translate that into something that works, they can say, yes, that's it, that's better. And if you don't, they can always say something like, we're just gonna have to really work on your placement more. But, just like support, if I'm coaching you and I tell you to place it higher, what exactly am I asking you to do? It's another one of those vague terms that has very little actual meaning. But that doesn't mean that it's completely useless. The idea can be helpful at times if you really understand it. So, what exactly is placement? Well, after the voice creates the sound, that acoustic energy makes its way through the throat, the mouth, the sinuses, what we collectively call the vocal tract. Now, depending on how these sound waves bounce around, and the things that you might be doing to manipulate that sound, you can feel vibrations in different parts of your body. If you hum with your jaw completely closed and slowly open it, you'll most likely feel the vibrations get stronger in your lips. So we could describe the sensation as a more forward placement. But what really is happening is that the teeth are getting out of the way and the vibrations can now get to the lips. Now, even the results of the concept of placement can be confusing. When I hear most coaches describe or demonstrate a more forward placement, it's often a brighter tone or a brighter vowel. But what I just did there will do the exact opposite. So if instead of humming, I keep my lips open in an ooh shape, what happens to the sound? Ooh. It gets darker, not brighter. So perception of where things vibrate doesn't always give you a predictable result. And it won't have the same feeling from person to person either, mainly because we're all different sizes. And even a slight variation in the size of parts of your head and neck will drastically change how something feels. So, if someone tells you that you should feel it in your mask, another common phrase that describes the area of your cheekbones, that might be where they feel it, but you may not. And it's not always a bad thing if you don't. Most of what you feel comes from bones vibrating, which is why some sounds can even buzz at the top of your skull, nowhere near your voice. But those feelings aren't universal, and they can vary greatly for each person. So, when it comes to the benefits of placement for you, here are the two principles that are good to focus on. First, a more efficient and resonant sound will produce more sound waves. So, in general, you might explore whether or not you feel more vibrations somewhere. And if you do, that's good, since more power and resonance equals more vibrations, which equals more sensation. Now second, since placement is specific to you, the times it will be the most useful is when you do something you like. If a great sound comes out of you, pay attention to what it feels like and where you feel it. You can chase that sensation as you practice to try to make it more consistent. And you can also use it for when things don't go well. You can say something like, when I strain, I feel a little vibration in my neck, and when I don't, it's stronger and it buzzes more in the back of my skull. And communicate these feelings to your coach. If I know how things feel to you and connect it to a sound either good or bad, I can use that information to help build a better practice routine. But with very few exceptions, your coach shouldn't be starting by telling you how it's supposed to feel. Instead, we should be asking you how it feels afterwards. You can use the term placement to describe how and where it feels, and we might even play with changing parts of the voice and seeing what happens to the feeling. But know that there is no standardized placement, and trying to just place it higher or place it in a specific part of your head isn't really a thing.